This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
The relations between fathers and their children are often a rather complicated matter and a reason for children's resentment towards fathers. In the poem Those Winter Sundays, Robert Hayden addresses this theme using expressing his complex feelings about his father through the use of a special tone. In the following paper, how Hayden uses tone and for what purpose will be discussed. Overall, after the analysis of the poem, a conclusion can be made that the poet's tone is characterized by a shift of mood from sadness and regrets of childhood to understanding his father's fight and respect towards him in his adulthood. The poem speaker's tendency to have a sad tone is evident even from the title of this piece, as it features the word winter, which impels cold, dark, and gloomy thoughts. Also, the poet uses the word those, which suggests a picture from the past that is repeated many times and creates a special image in the speaker's heart. Finally, the word Sundays also implicates something important for the poem's narrator. As a reader starts looking through the first lines of Those Winter Sundays, one may realize that it speaks about memories from childhood. Children usually value Sundays as the most important days in the week because, on those days, the whole family gathers and spends time together. However, Hayden combines such a positive and meaningful word with those and winter, which also gives a strong reason to believe that he is not going to speak about something inspiring and exciting in this piece. Thus, even before the beginning of the first line, the reader may see his negative tone aiming to describe the boy's cold and distant relations with his father. Below, the body of the poem will be addressed to prove that its title produces a justified impression. The reader will not notice any rhyme in the 5 opening sentences that form the first stanza. Here, the use of prosaic speech is a special method to support a negative tone by Hayden. In the opening line, Sundays too my father got up early, the poet introduces his father by saying that even on Sundays, he started his working schedule early. This line shows that the narrator is not happy about his parents' way of living, as he says too and calls him father but not daddy or papa. This is a hint showing that the father was a man of a pedant character and roused cold and formal emotions in his son's heart. The speaker also says, with cracked hands that ached from labor. This details the father's character and personality, depicting him as a hard worker, a man of minor income, and a blue collar. Thus, a rather negative picture of the father's character and his main concerns and interests in his work is formed in readers' minds from the very first lines of the poem. The next stanza only adds to the sadness of the narrator's tone. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking. The rooms were warm, he'd call. And slowly, I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic anger of that house. In this stanza, the readers may feel the atmosphere in the speaker's house through the use of such words and expressions as the cold splintering, breaking, fearing, and the chronic anger of that house. These words show that the father's efforts to get up early to care for his family members do not result in a positive outcome, as the atmosphere is still chilly and full of anger and pain. In the final stanza, the sadness of the speaker's tone is still observed in words speaking indifferently and cold, but in the 2 final lines, what did I know of love's austere and lonely offices, show a shift in the mood and tone. This means that when the narrator becomes an adult, he comes to realize his father's struggles and starts viewing him in a different light. In conclusion, in his expressive poem Those Winter Sundays, Robert Hayden speaks about the issues that are often rife in father-son relations. His tone is mostly negative, sad, and regrettable throughout the whole narration, but in the final lines, it shifts to a positive one, which suggests that the speaker changes his idea of his father when he becomes an adult. Did you like this Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden sample? To get more works like this one, make sure to check out the free database of academic paper examples at ivypanda.com. You will find thousands of samples for all your study needs, without even having to register.